Attention passionate San Francisco 49ers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on San Francisco 49ers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true San Francisco 49ers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and San Francisco 49ers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you're a 49ers enthusiast, you know that every offseason brings its share of surprises, rumors, and strategic moves. But this year, there's an added layer of intrigue surrounding the team's roster construction heading into the 2025 training camp. And trust me, it's not just about who's coming in, but also about who might be heading out. The San Francisco 49ers, a team renowned for their innovative schemes, strong defense, and explosive offense, are always looking to fine-tune their roster for another deep playoff push. And right now, there are some interesting whispers about potential trade candidates, especially in the context of how the team is shaping up for the upcoming season and beyond. First, before we dive into the specifics, let's address the elephant in the room, Christian McCaffrey. The superstar running back has been a cornerstone of the 49ers' offense since his trade from Carolina, and his role has only expanded with each passing season. But as we all know, the NFL is a league of constant change, and even the most secure positions are not immune to trade rumors or roster shakeups. However, it's essential to clarify that Christian McCaffrey is not currently a trade candidate. In fact, he's almost certainly going to be with the 49ers, at least through the 2025 season, barring some unforeseen circumstances. The team's front office has repeatedly expressed confidence in his health and his ability to be a central piece of their offense. That being said, the NFL is unpredictable, and if the 49ers were to fall out of playoff contention before the trade deadline, then of course, McCaffrey's name could come up in discussions. But right now, that's highly unlikely. He's a franchise player, and the Niners would need a seismic shift to consider moving him. So let's shift gears and look at other potential trade candidates who might be on the move as the team looks to optimize its roster for the long haul. One interesting name that's been floating around in the rumor mill is Isaac Guerendo, a fifth-round pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. Guerendo is a player with intriguing measurables and flashes of bright potential. Standing at 6 foot, weighing around 221 pounds, and clocking an impressive 4.33-second 40-yard dash, Guerendo possesses the kind of speed and frame that can spark interest across the league. When you watch him play, you can see why some scouts and analysts have compared him to some of the 49ers' own running back legends, like Raheem Mostert, fast, elusive, and capable of breaking big plays. But here's the thing, Guerendo's role on the 49ers roster is still very much in development. Last season, he showed flashes of NFL ability, but he was mostly a special teams contributor and a depth piece behind the established stars like Christian McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell. Now, with the team's depth chart looking quite crowded at running back, Guerendo's value isn't as high for the 49ers as it might be for other teams searching for explosive playmakers. So the question is, could Guerendo be a trade candidate? The answer hinges on a few factors. If McCaffrey stays healthy, which is always a big if, with any running back given the physical toll of the position, Guerendo might not see enough opportunities to justify a bigger role. And that could make him a valuable asset for the Niners to package in a deal to acquire a different piece that they need more urgently. The 49ers have shown a willingness to develop young talent, but they're also pragmatic about making moves if they believe it can improve the overall team. That's where Guerendo's potential trade value comes into play. If a team suffers a significant injury at running back during training camp, say a starting back goes down or a key rotational player is lost, Guerendo's speed and upside could make him an attractive option for a contender looking to add depth late in the preseason. So, watch for his name to pop up in trade discussions as the summer progresses. Now, shifting gears to the defensive side, which has been a real bright spot for San Francisco in recent years, there's another interesting name that's caught some attention, Marlon Davidson, a versatile defensive lineman who was brought in last season. Davidson, a former second-round pick by the Atlanta Falcons, has shown flashes of being a disruptive force on the interior. And with the 49ers' defensive line being one of the best in the league, they're always on the lookout for ways to add depth and flexibility. If the team decides to make a move, Davidson could be a candidate to be traded or even released if they find someone better suited to fit their system. But the core of the defensive line remains strong, with Nick Bosa leading the pass rush, Michael Williams emerging as a promising rookie, and a host of capable rotational players like Jordan Elliott, Kevin Givens, and Sam Okwuegbunam. The competition at defensive end and tackle is fierce, and the team's coaching staff is known for their strategic utilization of their personnel to maximize pressure and coverage. In fact, the emergence of players like Williams has made some veterans slightly more expendable, which could open the door for trades or roster adjustments. Williams, who was a fifth-round pick last year, has been impressing coaches with his work ethic and quick learning curve. According to reports from practice, he's always right behind Nick Bosa, eager to absorb every bit of knowledge and refine his craft. Defensive line coach Chris Kokurek has been praising him publicly, highlighting his eagerness to learn and his natural talent for the game. This kind of development bodes well for the future, but it also means that some of the more veteran players might be moved if the 49ers see an opportunity to get better through trades. Looking at the broader picture, the 49ers possess a solid, versatile, and well-coached defensive line that is capable of disrupting any offense in the league. But as with every NFL team, roster management is a constant balancing act. They need to maintain depth, keep their star players healthy, and sometimes make tough calls to improve the overall team chemistry and talent level. That's why trade rumors, especially involving players like Guerendo or Davidson, are not just idle speculation. They're part of the strategic chess game that the 49ers front office plays every year. Of course, the team's front office, led by General Manager John Lynch, is known for being pragmatic but also opportunistic. Lynch and his staff are always scouting, always evaluating, and always ready to pounce if an advantageous deal presents itself. The team's recent history of making shrewd, mid-season trades to bolster their roster for playoff runs is well documented. Whether it's adding a pass rusher or a versatile backup, the 49ers are never content to stand still. They understand that in the NFL, the margin between a good season and a championship run can hinge on a few key moves, a bit of luck, and a little bit of strategic foresight. Looking ahead to the 2025 season, the expectations for the 49ers are sky-high. Fans are eager to see if Brock Purdy can continue his impressive development as the starting quarterback, if the offensive line can stay healthy and dominant, and if the defense can replicate or even surpass their recent levels of excellence. The team's roster is a mix of seasoned veterans and promising young players, all coached by Kyle Shanahan, whose offensive schemes are among the most innovative and effective in the league. Shanahan's ability to adapt his game plan to leverage his personnel's strengths is one of the reasons why the 49ers have been perennial contenders for the last few years. And let's not forget the importance of the draft and player development. The 49ers have built a reputation for finding hidden gems in later rounds and developing them into key contributors. Players like Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, and George Kittle are prime examples of this philosophy. The team's focus on building through the draft, combined with shrewd trades and free agent signings, creates a roster that is both deep and talented enough to compete at the highest level. So, as we look toward the upcoming training camp and the start of the season, the big questions revolve around roster management and how the 49ers will navigate the fine line between maintaining core stability and making strategic moves to improve their chances of another Super Bowl appearance. Will Guerendo be moved for a future asset? Could Davidson or another defensive lineman be on the block if the right opportunity arises? These are the questions fans are buzzing about, and rightfully so. Because in the NFL, and especially with the 49ers, every move counts, and every decision could be the difference between a championship and an early playoff exit. And now, San Francisco 49ers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all these rumors and potential moves? Do you think Guerendo has what it takes to be a future star, or is he better off being traded for a veteran presence? Are you excited about the depth at defensive line, or do you think the team needs to shake things up even more? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest San Francisco 49ers news, analysis, and everything you need to stay ahead of the game. Thanks for being with me today, and as always, go Niners.